Welcome back, familiar to Northside LDN, and today we've got news of Lewis Miles Skelly being linked to other Premier League clubs and potentially looking for a move. Before we get into that, big up to everyone that's locked in. This is a football discussion show for entertainment and opinion only. Everything here is about sport, and we do not involve politics, personal targeting, or hate. Now let's talk football. Lewis Skelly has been told by Thomas Tuchel that he will not be getting into the England team and be taken for the World Cup if he does not get more minutes. Now, this is an interesting situation because the clubs that have been linked to Lewis Skelly, from what I see from reports, is Newcastle, Everton, and Sunderland. Apparently, they're monitoring Lewis Skelly and seeing his availability to potentially get a loan deal or maybe to buy the player, but it's still not completely clear. There's just reports that he may be leaving Arsenal. At this moment in time, we can see at Arsenal, look, Calafiori is the preferred left back. I feel like Calafiori has a lot of similarities to Zinchenko's game. I think he's very good going forward, but defensively leaves a lot to be desired. I don't think he's very good in 1v1 defending. I think positionally he's all over the place. But because he's preferred by the manager, Lewis Skelly has been holding bench the majority of the season. To be fair to Arteta, it's not like Lewis Skelly this season has been ripping up trees. Even in pre-season, he's looked the shadow of the player that he was last season. But the main thing is, Lewis Skelly's not a defender. He's not a left back. He's a midfielder. And you can see that when he receives the ball, he's way more comfortable in the transition. In the central areas, when he drifts in centrally, you can see that he's a natural midfielder. Good on the half turn, technically very good, can pick out a pass, has a decent shot. You can see he's got the attributes to play in the midfield because that's his natural position. Now, in the Arteta system, he's not going to play in that midfield. He will not drop Zubimendi, who is pivotal to the team, and he won't drop Rice. I've been calling for Rice to move in the 6 and to move Skelly in the 8. I think it gives the team a lot more balance, the midfield a lot more balance. All of a sudden, you have a midfielder there on a double pivot that can actually play well on the half turn and can actually pick up a pass. I think Zubimendi's decent, but a lot of times positionally, he's all over the place. I don't think he's as creative as Lewis Skelly, especially not driving with the ball and traveling with the ball. Definitely not as good as Lewis Skelly. And play Skelly and let him thrive in his natural position. I think this season we're seeing the fact that he's not an out-and-out left back. And he was covering that position last season. And I would like to see him get more game time in his natural position. Is that going to happen? I don't think so. Should Skelly look to get more minutes? I would say yeah. Because if you're not going to be getting enough game time, then if I was advising Skelly, I'd say go where you're getting game time. You know, it's affecting your chances of getting into the England team. You're not developing holding bench, and you're not even playing in your preferred position in the first place. For me, I just think it's a no-brainer for Skelly to leave. Maybe on loan, maybe do a loan deal with an option, you know what I mean, with an option to buy, because I don't see him getting into this team. I don't see Arteta dropping Calafiori. We can see now that Calafiori was always his main choice. We already knew that. If he really believed in Skelly, he wouldn't have bought Calafiori and would have put that money towards maybe getting a left winger, which is still a position that we need to strengthen. He bought another left back because that's the left back he wanted to go with. And now that he's available, he's going to go. Skelly's going to start, regardless if we agree with it or not. So I just think Skelly for himself and for his chances to perform at the World Cup. Obviously, you know, these players, they want to play at the World Cup. They want to represent their country. They want to play for their national team. It's good for their sponsorship deals and all their marketing and everything else like that, away from their football wages and for their own brand. You know, these players now, they're a brand. Whether we like it or not, that's the reality. They're now brands and they look to make as much money as they can outside of their weekly wages that they earn of the club. So Skelly's going to want to go. And if he wants to go, I mean, it's down to him how much he, believes in himself and breaking into the team. I just think there's certain players in this team that are just not favored by the manager. I'm just going to keep it real. It doesn't matter if, people are talking about Ethan's form. Whether Ethan performs or doesn't perform, I saw him performing last season and he's still holding bench until we were in the cup games. I've seen Dalman perform, he's still holding bench regardless of performances. And I think Skelly's part of that group of players as well. Whether you perform or not, you're holding bench. You're not favoured with the manager. And we got Henkape now as well, which is also hindering Skelly's chances of getting into that left back position. Henkape, we're going to see how good he is, but I would assume that Arteta is going to probably put Henkape above Skelly. Obviously, Skelly's performances hasn't made it easy, you know, or he hasn't made it easy for himself to give us enough performances to say, well, Skelly deserves to get into the team based on performances. But I just feel like whether he's performing or not, he's not going to get into the team. He's not favoured. So I think Calafiori is ahead of him on that left back role. I think Henkape is ahead of him in the totem pole on that left-hand side as well. In the midfield, we've seen the manager go with 3 DMs. We've seen him go with a double pivot of Norgard and Rice and, you know, all these kind of different combinations. We haven't seen Skelly be introduced in the midfield. So I don't think he's part of Arteta's plans in terms of the midfield. I think that would have been an experiment he would have tried, and he hasn't tried that yet. Which is funny because Arteta did say in a press conference this season that Skelly's best preferred position and strongest position is the midfield. But yet he doesn't give him any games playing in the midfield. If he gets any games, it's on the left back, as a left back. So I just don't see him where he's going to break into this team. I really don't. I really don't see it. I think the manager loves to play with 2 defensive midfielders at a minimum. We've seen him play with 3, but he plays with 2. He'll either go with Rice and Zubimendi, or Rice and Norgard, or, you know, Zubimendi and Norgard. He doesn't look like he wants to introduce Skelly into that midfield. I argued as well, not only just Skelly playing the 8, we could even play Odegaard in the 8. I don't really think he wants that creativity in the midfield. I think he wants a robust pivot where you've got 2 players that will sit back, defend, and are more inclined to defend, which I do think Skelly could do. I mean, he's defending at left back. He can do it in the center of the pitch, but I just don't see that he's going to do that. I don't think that's what Arteta wants to do. I don't think that's his plans for the player. And it's a little bit frustrating. It's a little bit annoying, but at the same time, it is what it is. Ultimately, Skelly leaving, it's not confirmed yet. I just think he should leave on loan and go develop. Don't waste the season. Don't waste the opportunity to go to the World Cup. I think, you know what I mean? Waiting every 4 years for the World Cup and then you don't get to go based, you know, at the back of a really, really good season that he had last season. I think it would be a waste, if I'll be completely honest. I think it would be a waste if he goes, if he doesn't go to the World Cup and if he doesn't take the opportunity to get more minutes. Now, Newcastle, I can see him get into that team. Everton, I can see him getting into that team, and I can see him getting into the Sunderland team as well. You know, maybe he doesn't go if they don't offer him a role in the midfield. It also depends. Does Newcastle, Everton, and Sunderland, do they want him to play left back? Is he comfortable playing left back? Does he want to continue playing left back, or does he want to play as a midfielder in his natural position? There's so many things. You know, does the player think he can break into the team? Where is he going to play if he goes out on loan? Do the clubs that are monitoring Skelly, do they want a loan or do they want to buy him? There's so many things, you know, to do with this move. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen. I really don't know if it's going to happen. But at the same time, I would like Skelly to stay. As an Arsenal fan, I'd like him to stay, especially with the amount of injuries we keep getting. You don't know who's injured next, and it's one less option. And I think he can still bring a lot to this team. Obviously, he's a player that's still developing, a player that's still improving. But I still think he's a player that can offer a lot to this Arsenal team if played in the correct position and played to his strengths. But it seems like Mikel's got other plans. I could see Arsenal saying, you're not going anywhere. And Arteta using him in the cup games, especially with the congestion of games that we got at Christmas. Arteta potentially thinking, nah, I don't, you know, a player that has the versatility. Arteta loves a versatile player. Player that can play midfield, can play fullback. You'll probably say, oh, I want to keep Skelly in the team because he offers a lot. And depending on what injuries we got, we can give him more minutes. But it's all, those are reports that are out there right now. Let me know in the comments what you think. Should Skelly stay? Should he go? Do you see him getting into the England team? Do you see him taking his chances staying at Arsenal? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you're liking and subscribing, and I'm out. Love, love, love.